Hey everybody, and welcome back to The New Agenda. My name is Candace New, and I'm your host. I am so ecstatic to have you guys hanging out with me today. I have three incredibly amazing female entrepreneurs that are going to be on my show today, and I cannot wait to have you meet them and see what they're doing. This week, I've been thinking a lot about, as we roll into the summer months, as we roll into those bikini swimsuit sort of times, we're all thinking about, getting healthier, getting ready our swimsuit body or whatever. I've been thinking a lot about how society really impacts the way that we view ourselves and our bodies. I actually had a really weird comment. I told you guys I'm on these weird dating apps. I don't know why I'm on them, okay? But I had a really weird comment sent to me the other day. It was like, you're kind of pretty, super cute. And I was like, is that supposed to be a compliment? And also is that how you pick up chicks? What? But I thought it was so interesting because there's so much focus on, especially for females, definitely for men as well. I don't want to say it doesn't happen for men as well, but definitely for females, there's so much of focus on physical appearance. And I really am hoping that we can start thinking about how can we begin to see the beauty in ourselves that's not skin deep. So that's really where I'm at today and being intentional. And so this week's intentional moment is all about trying to see the beauty in myself and in the world outside of what traditional views of beauty really are. I hope you'll join me on this journey and stay tuned as we continue this topic and meet some really incredible people. Let's bring out our very first guest. My first guest is a human that I've had an incredible opportunity to work with in the past, and I'm finally getting her to come on my show and talk with you guys. Her name is Selena, and she is the owner of Bosswear. Come on out, darling. Hello. Hi. I'm so glad to finally have you on my show.
Thank you for having me.
You can sit right there. You can move those pillows underneath the table there.
No problem.
Yep. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to have you on my show.
Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I just love everything you're wearing. Can I just have you stand up and show me?
Yes.
Could we just do a little? Sorry, my camera wasn't ready for that. You have to do it again.
Okay.
Go ahead. Stand up.
Okay. So this is one of our tops. These are our favorite leggings.
I do love those leggings. I should have wore leggings today, guys. I don't know what I was thinking. Man.
Leggings are just comfortable all the time, make you feel good.
So, Selena, tell me a little bit about you. First of all, how did you come around to being where you are, and what did you do before that? So tell me about life before Bosswear, and then how you got there.
Okay, so before Bosswear, I had a business called Boss Lady Branding.
Okay.
I'm actually a brander. I've been branding for about...
What does that mean?
So we brand, I do customized t-shirts, banners, business cards, you name it, a lot of promotional products that you need. I did a lot of branding for small businesses, for baseball teams, and a bunch of different stuff. So I did that for 5 years. COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
It really kind of knocked business out because it's like a social thing. Branding, you do all your branding to do events.
Right.
So Boss Lady Branding kind of went downhill when COVID hit. And then we tried to figure out things for online.
Yeah.
So Bosswear is online. But through COVID, I was having real bad struggles with my own body.
Mm-hmm.
I felt a lot of bad things about myself. I didn't feel pretty. And so it was a struggle, and I had to figure out how to help myself.
Yeah.
And just after going back and forth, I realized that I needed to help other women with the same struggles in order to help myself.
Yeah.
And so that's where it really started from. And then I thought, well, what do I feel comfortable in, and what do I love wearing? And so I decided to come up with a Bosswear official line, the brand, with leggings and sports bras and stuff like that. And I've come a long way. I've met so many amazing women that have struggled. I'm from all ages,
right.
I've had 50-year-olds wearing Bosswear, just helping them grow their confidence, and when they're happy, I'm happy, so it's helping me. So it's been an amazing journey.
That's incredible. So what do you think sets Bosswear aside from other athletic companies?
So personally, I get I get more involved with my customers. You know, I don't just try to sell a pair of leggings and not have like that relationship with them. I really try to empower and make an impact in their lives. And so I've met so many women along the way, and like I built that type of relationship with them to like they really know that they see my genuine heart.
Right.
I'm not just selling them a pair of leggings or a sports bra to make a quick dollar. I'm literally like, these are my struggles, and like we can do this together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I absolutely love your brand. I love what you're doing with it. I know that every time I go to a fashion show that features bosswear, you're also super intentional about bringing in diverse models of all different body types, of all different ethnicities, and really just kind of showcasing their beauty and their power. And I love that so much. So I'm so excited to have you on my show. I know today you actually brought a model out with us today.
I did.
What's her name?
Her name is Kimberly. She actually...
Kimberly, why don't you come on out and show us this beautiful outfit?
Hi.
Hello.
Do a little.
Yes.
That's, oh my God, that's beautiful.
She
Why don't you
is
tell me what
wearing-
she's wearing?
So Kimberly is wearing our new high impact sports bra. It has full coverage to the sides, lots of it goes high neck, and it has lots of support all around the breast area. And the back of the design, if you've seen that, it's like a really cool design. And then she's wearing our matte leggings, our red matte leggings. They slim you, they're all high-waisted, and then our activewear top, she's wearing our jacket, our newest jacket that came out, and it has the thumb holes
Yes.
And pockets.
and the pockets with the really strong zippers. So yeah, that's our matte collection in red, and she looks amazing in red.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Awesome. Kimberly, now I understand that you are also a business owner.
I am.
That's
Yes.
amazing. And are you like right next door?
Well, my boutique is here.
That's amazing.
Very pretty much we're neighbors.
Yeah. I just learned that this morning, guys. So
Yes.
I was like, what? Okay, so tell me about your boutique.
So I've had my boutique. I used to work at a call center a while back, and I was working my corporate job 9 to 5, and they closed down. So I had to kind of pursue my own thing. I opened up my boutique in 2018, but I've had the idea and the thought behind it since 2016. We survived the pandemic. We designed wedding dresses, quinceañera dresses, and I recently, in 2020, when the pandemic hit, had to think outside of the box because obviously people were not going out, they
Right.
weren't having parties, and I entered the shapewear company. So now I
What is
design shapewear for everyone. Shapewear can consist of, there's girls getting cosmetic surgery, there's for cosmetic surgery, post-op, postpartum care, just in general, any type of surgery when, my customers might have like a hernia, back issues. So we just have all kinds of shapewear for every size, every woman, every type of need, any type of
She's
surgery.
actually wearing one now.
Yes.
Okay.
So just some booty lifting shorts, just anything that will make everyone's confidence better.
That's incredible. And so shapewear is also it's designed for everyday wear, but also for medical needs.
Yes.
And so it's designed to like maybe help. What is it? How does it support
For the
medical
healing
things?
process of support.
Like compression, kind
the
of.
compression levels for sure. When you have a surgery, you definitely want to be compressed. There's, just postpartum care as well. When we have aftercare, for a baby, we kind of want to slim back to our body. So we have that compression, and we kind of think of like shapewear, like back in the day when we would have like those, back in the day when they had the pretty dresses and stuff, our ancestors would wear like the corsets and corset training.
Yeah.
So ours is just it's kind of like that, but it's a little bit more comfortable, more for everyday wear,
Right.
mommy friendly. For any type of postpartum, post-op. So that's what I do now. So we design shapewear in all sizes, all forms. We've even had like compression socks for diabetics. So we just have a really wide range of items.
That's incredible. Awesome. So I am about to bring out one more guest today. This young woman is actually joining us all the way from Paris, France. She's also an entrepreneur, and she's got some really great, a really great product for the film industry and for all of those people who are creatives and entrepreneurs and vendors that work within and among the film industry. So let's bring out Inez. She is coming out right now. Hello, darling.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. So excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. All right, so how long of a plane flight is it to Paris?
Oh my God.
I think 8 hours, but actually when I came here in Chicago, the plane 30 minutes before landing just stayed in the air.
Oh my gosh.
You know, because they didn't know if they could actually land, and we stayed like that, running out of fuel for 30 minutes. That
Wow.
was intense.
That sounds like Chicago O'Hare right there, if my traveling experience tells me anything. Okay, so 8 hours to Chicago. So that's another like 5-6 hours here. So all right, so that's fine.
It's not too bad.
That's not terrible. That's really not terrible at all. I really expected it to be longer. When I went to the Philippines, that was a 13-hour flight. I was
That's
like,
a
I'm gonna
long
die.
flight.
But if you actually add the hours, you know, 8 hours to Chicago, then 3 hours to Albuquerque, I think I'm good.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, and if we're going to like the Philippines or something, like we had to fly to LA and then leave from there. So yeah, it was crazy. So I can handle 8 hours. That's fine. That's just a quick little trip. So I'll have to come visit you.
You have to.
Yes.
I have a friend in Paris.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So tell me a little bit about your organization that you started and how you got involved. Like, okay, like how did you get involved in this? All of that. So.
Okay, well, I'm a film producer, okay? So I produced films and shows. And then when I started into the industry, I had no network, you know, everything is word of mouth. I had no connections, no money, so I didn't know where to start. So I learned on the job. And then when I became a professional, I said, okay, I'm still relying on my personal network to find opportunities in this industry. So I said, okay, I will create a tool that I wanted to have when I started. When I was 17, and I created Onset. That's an app that helps artists, cast and crews to receive the right jobs for their profile and talent scouts to receive targeted talents for their search. So it can be film, it can be fashion, it can be theater, music. You know, artists are actually working in cross industries. It's all about collaborative projects. And so we're making it easier for the youth to enter the industry, but also for professionals to connect better.
So this is an app that you have a profile and you can add like what the various roles are that you do in film specifically. It's a film app, right?
Yeah, it can be film, theater, music. For example, a musician can be a musician in the band, right, and do concert, but
Right.
he also can do scoring for film.
Correct.
And you actually, when you talk to people and talents, you realize that usually you have a lot of hats. You can be an actress, a dancer, a model, but I also met like an actress who's also a DP. It's actually true. And when you start, of course, when you get a professional, then you have a tendency to go to one job than another, but you can still actually make things on the side. I met a set deck professional that actually is still doing indie films as a director and finding his cast and crew just like that in his personal network.
Yeah.
So this is for them, you know, for them to continue to create and find opportunities in an easy way.
So you've already started this program in France. Now, just in France or across Europe?
So we are in France, Belgium, and soon Switzerland.
Okay.
And we have already 14,000 talents connecting. And right now we are partnering with schools in the US to onboard the first US database. So yay!
That's
Super
exciting.
exciting.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, in
Congratulations.
Chicago and New Mexico. So this is pretty great.
That's pretty awesome. So all of you guys started these. When did you start Onset?
2019.
Okay, so all of this is kind of like new-ish, right? I mean, a couple of years in, which is where we're all kind of getting started. Katharsis Media also started in 2019, actually. So we're all kind of...
Boss Lady Brownie started in 2019. Today's actually our birthday for Boss. We're 2 years old.
Congratulations. Happy
Thank
birthday. That's really exciting. So do you think that you've always had like an entrepreneurial spirit, or did you have to develop something, or did something happen? How did you become an entrepreneur? I mean, it's not like, I mean, there's a lot of people in the world are not all entrepreneurs. So I think it's so interesting when I meet people and they're like, yeah, I started my own company. So where do you think that got started in your childhood?
I think I've always had it. I just never knew how to use it. I met my husband in 2007. He's actually been a business owner his whole life. He worked selling newspapers, and that was it. But he's been an owner of his our company for 30 years, and so he like inspired me to like bust out with something. It just kind of came out, and it was like it's been like going since actually 2016, but I started my business in 2019.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like there was a little spark in there my whole life of stuff, and my husband just really motivated me to just take a chance.
That's exciting.
For me, I think being a teen mom kind of put me on that path where I had to hustle.
Yeah.
I had to be an entrepreneur since at a very young age. I had 2 little ones, and just being a teenage mom just kind of, and I kind of have always had it in me to be out there. And so when I had normal corporate jobs, I sat there 9 to 5. I'm like, this is not my thing. Like, this is, I know I can do so much more. I can impact so much more than sitting here 9 to 5.
Right.
Well, actually, I wanted to be Lois Lane when I was younger. Like, very strong, independent woman, going on the field, finding stories. It was exciting. So I guess this was the beginning of my journey. And I actually became a journalist, and it was no Lois Lane. It was more like, being behind a computer. But I actually got to go on the ground and be around people and telling their stories. Then I found a way to telling their stories better in documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was around real people all the time. So I said, okay, now I have the inspiration to tell fiction stories.
Yeah.
And then still about connecting people, I said, okay, the app is actually the end of this journey because I'm doing this for real with a project for them. And I think that realizing all this journey, I said, okay, what is the common? The common is the challenge, and always having a goal and go further. And this is why I like to be an entrepreneur. You are in control, and you can also create something new. And this is very inspiring.
I think that's hilarious. I think you and I would have been like besties when we were young. When I was in the 4th grade, I decided I wanted to start. It was the first time when I started my first business, and it was a detective agency. We were like super sleuths or whatever, and we would like investigate like petty crimes around our neighborhood. So if somebody broke into a car or they complained about their cat going missing or whatever, like we would like go out and try to investigate them, and we tried to bill people for it. It didn't really work, but that was like the first kind of thing that I did. And then from there we jumped in, and I had a car washing business. And then when I got into high school, I started my own fashion and skating magazine, and that was my first like real entrepreneurial job. And so I was involved in the fashion world, and we were in 26 states and 7 different countries, and that was kind of cool. And then from there, I just kind of, so I think I have a little bit of like an addiction to starting businesses. But I think that, we try things until we find something that fits, right? And it wasn't really until I got involved in telling stories, and really going out in the world and listening to people's stories. And that's where I realized I was like, this is what I love. I love to get to know people like you guys, right? And hear your stories and then share those stories with the world. And so that's how I got involved in media making, is just sharing those stories. So yeah.
You also always learn something new by speaking with people, sharing their stories. It builds you as a person and as an artist.
Yeah.
So this is important. But you were in the fashion industry, you were in the film industry, in the TV industry. As an artist, you're doing so many things. And this is actually building your artistic journey and identity. So that was what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to have you guys here. I heard you say the word hustle. We hear the word hustle all day, every day. And I do feel like it's sometimes really, it's an interesting word because it's just kind of like thrown around, but I don't know that it always has a clear understanding of what it means to hustle. How would you define hustle? Now I don't want pressure. You're like, I'm not from here.
I can, because hustle means difficulties, right?
Yes.
So even as a French person, non-fluent in English, well, I'm trying my best, but like I know what it means. It's because, I would say it's kind of like struggle, and this is what I've been also experiencing in my industry. When when you're kind of an underdog and you don't have easy access to things, but you're trying to fight to get to the information, and you lose so much time, but also you learn a lot through this journey. And I would say that, yeah, struggling can be difficult, but it can also be sometimes good to build yourself as a person.
Yes, definitely. For me, I think being coming from an immigrant family, like you said, hustle is just, for me, I didn't have the opportunities that most people would have, especially having my kids at a very young age. And so I had to learn how to overcome all of those, difficulties that throughout time, especially being super young, I had to learn how to bypass, and in the way, learning from my experience. And I always tell my friends, family, I'm like the person to go to as far as business. And I don't only just have Julianne's, I have multiple businesses. And I've learned to kind of, help also my friends, family, with all the mistakes that I've done, and I had to do it, because for me, it didn't come as a, here, let me hand you all of this. I had to look for it, and I had to go out of my way to be where I'm at right now, So for me, it's just really just understanding and helping others as well, with my mistakes. I'm like, don't do that. I've already been there, done that.
Right.
Let me help you. So
She's helped me a lot grow in business. She's not one of those type of women that wants to keep everything for herself. I have to give her that. She's really, talk about women empowerment, she's really taken me under her wing to help me with, because she's very successful. But for me, I used to sell cinnamon sticks and even sugar,
That's awesome.
Kool-Aid sugar in middle school. So I grew up in the foster system, and I just knew that I didn't want to be like where I came from.
Right.
So like I always try to do something different, better, and just be better. And
So if we're trying to make a definition really that's clear for the word, so I'm hearing, okay, that it's about coming from a place of like an underdog, coming from a place of disadvantage really, and that struggle to get to the top, but it's themed with a tone of overcoming. Yeah. So it's kind of that idea that we are, when we say that we're hustling, that we are coming from the bottom, we are pushing our way through no matter what. We're kind of, every single obstacle that comes at us, we're going to go over, we're going to overcome, we're going to find a way around it or under it or through it, right?
Yes.
And so I love that. I think that hustle kind of, or that kind of hustler personality is really what has made us so resilient over the years and helped us to get through all of the many things. I think that you have to be a hustler to really make it in this industry. I'm also wondering though, because it is about struggle, right? And I think so much of what we've done and where we're at right now has been marked with that struggle. And it's interesting because I'm kind of seeing a transition in my life right now, where it's like going from that everyday hustle, that everyday struggle, and trying to find ways to go from surviving to thriving, right? From struggling to accomplishing or to walking in it. Even, does that make sense?
yes.
So how do we do that? What do you think is the missing link that goes from hustling to stepping up into, and what would it be? What is that? What is not hustling? What is it? I don't even know what the word is. See, I'm like, oh, what does it mean?
I think you need to not be afraid to take chances.
Yeah.
Like I was afraid of fear and messing up a lot of times, and I think I could be so much further ahead today if I didn't like give up on myself. And like you literally, I've learned now you gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Like don't be afraid to take those chances. You never know.
For me, I think it's just also keep going and inspiring others along the way, because for me, that also gives me motivation to keep going.
I would say it's also to be just open to opportunities. I think wherever you go, you can find opportunities and you can create stuff. I mean, I've been in the US for 2 weeks now, and I've met so many inspiring people. I connected with their journey. They connected me with others. I mean, we already built bridges between friends and here, and I find this amazing. I mean, just be open and always look at the optimistic side of things.
Awesome. So what does success look like for you? And I mean something specific, like what is the specific goal, like the next level of success that looks like for you? Like what is do you understand what I mean? What's success for you in the next, like, let's say 5 years? What does success mean for you in 5 years from now?
I want to be known all over New Mexico Dallas, Texas, and California.
Okay. So New Mexico, Texas, California.
Yeah, I want to just
Bosswear official everywhere.
everywhere.
Absolutely.
I told my husband
Okay.
when I first started, I want to be the next Victoria's Secret.
I love that.
For me is
Except for actually created by a woman.
yes.
Right.
Oh.
For me, also having Julianne's fashion boutique in several places of the United States, and creating more jobs for people who, are entrepreneurs and started like me and need help and building their own businesses. So that with my store, and then also just helping other people just like you.
I love that.
I want to connect creators locally and beyond borders worldwide. So my ultimate goal would be to build a more inclusive industry.
Yeah.
Because access to information is so difficult right now,
Mhm.
and the ones who give up are always the same.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes, without really us wanting to, an elitist industry, while we will actually beneficiate from more creators with diverse backgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
and this is my goal.
That's awesome. Okay, so tell me about something coming up for you that you're excited about, that you'd like for people to attend, to go and check out, to watch, to something. What can I promote on my show that you've got going on? I know you've got something really cool. I just can't get over you, Selena. Like, you are so amazing. And okay, so like, this woman is not just like, ooh, I decided I wanted to get a brand and like put my brand on, across, New Mexico, Texas, and California. But this woman is intentional about her brand. Her brand has a purpose, and it's not just about athletic wear. So let's talk about what she's doing coming up next month, or 2 months. Couple months, yeah.
So I created an event called Jump Into School Bash. Through that also I created through my experiences, and so it's an event, free event for kids. I've created this community to really give our kids a free, fun, exciting day for them, dedicated to them, to make them feel that they're important, because we lack that a lot in this world today. Like, the kids don't feel important anymore. So I literally wanted to create something that I needed growing up. So I'm trying to be that person I needed growing up to these kids. And we are on a 10-acre property. Last year was my second year. We went from a half an acre to 10 acres.
That's awesome.
Helicopter landing in. We have all the law enforcement involved.
So this is happening when?
July 29th from 12 to 4.
Okay, so July 29th from 12 to 4. Where's it going to be?
It's at the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Posse Arena.
Okay.
Like Second and Alameda.
Okay.
area.
And so, what can I expect when I get there? Like, what's it going to look like? What are my kids going to be doing? What are the ages? What am I going to do?
So it's from ages 5 or younger all the way up to graduation.
So all ages.
All ages. We're giving away tons of school supplies.
Okay.
The kids are going to have free food. We have a lot of people coming in providing services and activities to the kids. They're going to leave with bags and bags of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Every kid should have a backpack,
Okay.
school supplies. Every little girl gets a crown.
Oh, that's awesome.
In my eyes, every little girl is a princess.
Mm-hmm.
All the boys get spoiled too. We're just gonna have tons of free activities, fun stuff. Steve Stucker's one of our MCs,
Okay.
so he's gonna be one of our MCs. That's super exciting. We have music, DJ, dancing. We have just a fun day of full activities and excitement.
This is incredible. So, how can people in the world or organizations get involved to support this?
So you could reach me at jumpintoschoolbash@gmail.com if you would like to volunteer, if you'd like to be a part of it. I literally stay on the property for 3 days.
Okay.
I go park my trailer because it's that much preparation.
Right.
So we need help volunteering the day before, setting up stages and everything. And if you just want to be like a vendor, we're gonna have several vendors to come promote your business, interact with the families that show up. That would be awesome. Just email me. Go follow us on Jump Into School Bash on
That's awesome.
Instagram. We're always getting a lot of people involved. We have a lot of good sponsors.
That's exciting.
Donations, yes, we're looking for lots of donations for school supplies. People that would like to keep a box at their business and collect school supplies. Also sponsors, we're actually raising money for Locker 505 this year.
That's lovely.
Yes, I love them. So yeah, we're raising money for Locker 505, and we're gathering school supplies to give out to all the kids that come.
So if you guys don't know, Locker 505 is it's an organization that provides clothing for kids of all ages so that they can go to school. And so if you can take your kiddo and they get 5 outfits. They also get I think a backpack and a toy as well. They get socks and underwear, and it's all brand new stuff. And so they get to go in there. They get to pick it out just like they're shopping. It's not like pre-selected for them or anything. So they get to find things that showcase who they are and what their fashion interests are. They get a brand new pair of shoes as well, which is always really important because a lot of times that's one of the hardest things to come by. They get winter coats, they get jackets, and whatever is appropriate for the season. They can go in the fall and then again in the spring, and it's all completely free. So it's a really incredible organization. So this event is going to support, that's one of the many charities that it's going to support. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah.
Super excited.
That's really awesome. All right, what do you guys have coming up, or what do you want to promote as well?
So we were actually thinking of putting on a fashion show as well for either fall or after Jump into School Bash. We wanted to help young entrepreneurs as well, young models who are starting their modeling career and they want to do their own photo shoot, and we kind of just want to partner up with girls in the community who want to help us put on a fashion show as well, just to help them as well start their modeling
Provide
career.
some industry training and that kind of stuff. I think
Yes,
that's great.
just training. So that's
Incredible. And I know that you guys have all the right connections to bring in some professional industry trainers, and I think that's a really great thing. And designers, you guys have all the right connections for that. So it's really exciting. So let me know. I'll come out. It'll be fun. What about you?
Well, Onset is available on the web right now, so it's onsetapp.com. You can register. The very exciting news is that we are launching the mobile app on the 2 stores on May 11th. Woo! Woo! So you can register right now. It's free. We are in New Mexico and Illinois right now in the US, but we will soon add more localities, and we're searching to build our first US database. So don't hesitate to post jobs, register, and connect.
That's incredible.
We should all be in there right now.
I know. I'm all. That's so exciting.
But this is actually good because we were talking about body positive and bringing in new models with new profiles. We have tons of diversity models on Onset because we allow easy access to information and to jobs. So you just see that people feel included, and they just register and they just post jobs because they want to feel included in this world. We just need to give them the right tools, right?
Right, exactly. And that's why for the fashion shows that I'm a part of, I pick some models, but not all of them even have experience because they have thought about it, but they don't have, like, they're afraid.
Yeah.
So I pull them out, I'm like, no, motivate them, and they go out there and do their thing, and so it's pretty powerful.
So this is a kind of a personal question I didn't prepare you for, because I'm one of those people that doesn't prepare you. I'm just like, I'm going to ask you questions. So I want you to take a minute to think about it. But what do you think has been one of the biggest struggles of your adult or childhood that you had to overcome? And what really helped you to overcome? What helped you to get out of that? So just take a minute and think about that, and then, I'd love to hear about that.
You want to make us all cry, don't
I
you?
do. It's so great for me. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
I always say a really good show makes you either laugh or cry, so we're going for the crying thing today.
So I would say for me, I don't like to, I don't go out and talk about my story a lot, but like I said, I grew up in the foster system. We aged out, me and my siblings, till 18, so we didn't have a lot of support. We didn't have a lot of, you can do it, you're beautiful, stay consistent. Like, we didn't have any of that. We literally went from foster home to foster home to foster home, and some foster homes are worse than others, and so there was none of that. So I needed that. We all, especially women, little girls, men too, but little girls, they struggle a lot. They're more emotional. And so I'm 40 years old, and I think that if I would have had just a little bit more positivity in my life, more support, more love and encouragement, I think I could have been so far a lot sooner. So that's why I think it's really important to encourage others, especially women, because we get in domestic relationships. I was in one for 10 years, and that, on top of what I already went through, I met this man who just destroyed my self-esteem, destroyed my, and so it's taken many, many years to overcome and love myself and realize that what he used to tell me is not true. Like, I'm a good person, I'm beautiful inside and out. And so that's why I encourage others, like, don't be mean to people. Like,
Yeah.
be kind, because you never know what anybody's going through. Like, you have no idea. People don't talk about it all the time because maybe they're embarrassed or they're shy or they don't even know how to say it. But like, you really have to be kind to people because you never know what they're going through, and empower and lift up all the time.
How did you overcome all of that? Like, how did you get out of that space? Was there anybody in your life that really encouraged you or pulled you out of it? Or how did you find the strength within yourself to come out of it, to become who you are today?
Well, growing up, I knew I didn't want to be like where I came from. Like, my mom was an addict. My dad is an addict. Even my siblings became addicts. I was just always terrified of drugs. Oh, terrified. I put it in my mind that if you try it one time, you're gonna die. So like that made me afraid. So I just knew I wanted better. And when I had my first son at 15. I knew that I wanted better for him. So I kind of started scooting away from my family. I didn't let him see what my mom was doing. I didn't let him, like, I kept him kind of shielded. Although you can't keep your kids 100% shielded, but I kept them from seeing that. And I just, like, once I had him, I was like, I gotta be a better person. I gotta be a better example to my son. And he had saved my son, saved my life. He really did, because I don't know where I'd be right now. And then after I was in that abusive relationship, I met my husband. And if it wasn't for him either, I'd still be probably with that man, because I didn't know how to get away.
Yeah.
So my husband really came into our lives and encouraged me and lifted me up constantly. That I never had that. So it was took a while to get used to that. But I think my husband and my son, number one, and my husband, and just wanting to be a change in this world. Like, I know I can't save the world, but that's why I do the bash, because if I could get so many kids in one place, can you imagine the impact? I mean, I don't care about making any money. My husband gets mad at me. He's like, you can't be giving stuff away or whatever. But like, I'm like, we're all going to heaven one of these days, and like, the impact we left is what's important.
Yeah.
So I just want to change as much lives. I want to touch as many people as possible, and like, just know that Selena made a difference in my life. So that's what keeps me going.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
For me, kind of the same thing. Just my daughter, I had her very young, same age, 15, and I had a lot of struggles. I dropped out of school very, very young, and it wasn't until I was older, 25, when I continued school and I was able to get my bachelor's in business while being a mom, working full time. And if I wasn't for the support of my parents, my family, my kiddos, my husband at the time, I don't think I would have made it, to where I'm at right now. So that's where just family for me helped me overcome all of those struggles.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Well, for me, it's the same. It's coming from a very modest background, is having all these ideas and all this willingness to build some things great, but not knowing how to do that. Not having the keys, not having the path traced for you, and having to figure it out, and with a lot of struggle, and lose a lot of time. But how I was lucky enough to have a family that didn't understand what I was doing, but actually was supporting me without putting any barriers to what I did. And I think I was very lucky in this sense.
I think that's awesome. All right, we're going to shift to advice and tips. I want to know, this is one of my favorite things, I want to know what systems, what tools, what processes that you have in place in your daily life that help you to be successful. I'll give you an example. One of, I think, the most important processes that I have in my life is where I task list and time block everything, right? So my team sometimes hates me. They think I'm crazy because at literally every single thing we task list and we allot a certain amount of time to it, like down to the minute. And then we use that to then time block it into our schedule so we get everything done within a specific amount of time. We know exactly what our budget will be, and it's all put there to get done. So for me, it's also the thing that like I don't always do well at, right? Like, so it's the one thing that I know is the most pivotal, the highest leverage process I can do. That's one thing that I do that really helps. You can't say the same thing, so go pick something else.
So I have a stationery problem. I collect so much notebooks.
Okay,
and
yes.
It's like an issue. Like my kids are like, what do we get you for Mother's Day? I'm like, you already know. You already know.
Do you have Bossware stationery?
I sure do.
Oh my god!
I brand, so I
Of
make
course.
all my own stickers and everything.
we need to have a conversation later.
Oh yes, definitely. But I have a notebook for everything because I have so much going on. I have a notebook for personal life.
Okay.
I have a notebook for Bossware. I have a notebook for jumping the school bash, and I have a self-development notebook.
Okay.
And like when I do certain things, I have to focus on that. And like when I gotta do like for example, the fashion shows or getting ready for a fashion show or any type of event that has to do with Bossware, everything goes in that one notebook and notes and who I talk to and everything. So I have to have different notebooks for all my big things.
Do you just like carry around a stack of notebooks everywhere you go?
No. So I always take the personal one with me because I always got to write things in there. But like today, I have my Bossware one.
Got it.
Because I'm doing Bossware stuff today.
Yeah.
Once I do the bash, no one will probably hear from me because I'm like completely focused on that. I mean, it's a huge event, so there's gonna be all day and night, and I sleep jumping a school bash. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I think having like a notebook, and even when you have meetings, you take that notebook, so you go back to that notebook for that particular situation, and everything's in there.
See, I'm really bad at organization. Like, I put everything in Google Sheets, but like, if it doesn't get there, it's lost.
But you task everything. Tasking everything is organization skills.
Well, but that's why, because like I have like 5 different notebooks. And even in my notebooks, like when I write things down, I don't even write in a line. Like it's all over the place. It makes no sense. So I think I need actually somebody that like I could hand my notes to. They could somehow decipher them. Good luck. And then put them in the task list because like that's one of the things that I find very time consuming. Like there's like a block. I don't know what it is. Maybe you guys can help me solve a problem here. But like where I can't type into the task list until I've written it somewhere else. Like I can't, like I also, like I have to write things on paper with pencil first. Like any ideas I have, I can't write on a blank page because like when I start typing, I feel like I have to like know what I'm writing, right? It's a really weird thing. But so sometimes things get lost between that and there because it's kind of a mess. So like low key, like that is the void in which I miss things. It's a problem. So like if you're wondering where something is that Candace was supposed to do, it's in that void. It's somewhere in there. It's been chicken scratched on some probably sheet of paper in a notebook or not on like random paper because I don't know. It didn't make the task list. So that's kind of where that's a struggle for me for sure. But yeah, I think having one dedicated notebook per each thing, because right now I have notebooks and sometimes I try to like separate them. So they're like sections, you know, like the ones we used to get in high school, you know, where you have like the dividers. But it doesn't work. And then I'm really weird. Like I will just open up and start writing on a page and not like on the next blank page. And I'm like, oh God, or I'll write on the back of it. It's so bad.
But do you actually read again your notebooks? Okay. Because, you know, I know that if I did that, I would never go back. You know, I need like to have a tool that actually connected. And if I, sort things by group, for example, I have the information so easy, like with Airtable or whatever. So, I mean...
Well, in my notebooks, nothing's organized in there. No.
That's exactly what,
But it's all in that one notebook.
Right, so it's in there, at least. It's,
even if I just open it up 10 pages blank to the middle, I know that it's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least we know that that's Bossware.
Yes.
I think that my biggest challenge is like, and I always complain here because I don't have access to the whiteboard. They're going to move that thing upstairs so I can have access to the whiteboard. But it's like I need to like put it on like a whiteboard or on a piece of paper or whatever, but then there's so many different projects. Like we have probably 40 different projects that our organization is working on at any one time. And so like, I don't even know how to organize it sometimes, so it's super overwhelming. So that's why I'm trying to steal all of your guys' processes. What's yours?
So I'm like the queen of mistakes because over time I've learned what not to do, and that's kind of what I tell
Yeah.
people and young entrepreneurs. I'm like, don't do that. Don't be like me. Don't do everything I did. I'm the queen of just not having anything organized and misplacing. But now, since I've been in the industry for a while, I've gotten used to just my mom used to tell me, there's a place for everything, put it back, or if you take it out, put it back, or
Okay.
write it down. Also document pretty much everything I do.
Yes.
So not only you just document my journey in general, just behind the scenes, everything goes in a certain spot. You want to have content for later on. It's just documenting and putting everything back where it goes, and
Okay.
just
I love that.
being organized.
Yeah, I just have piles. Oh
Yeah.
God, I have piles and stacks of like, oh, I wrote things
Just
here.
document the pile so then you can know that
Mhm.
it you put it there, and I just go back and check.
Well, even on my computer desktop, I have it organized by stacks, which is like images and documents and sheets, and as opposed to like in folders that make sense. And so I'm just like, oh my God, I can't find anything. It's terrible. It's really bad.
I can't wait till we can all have our own assistants.
Right?
Yes.
Go
What
put
do
all
you-
that in the computer.
Yeah, I would say that you need to, when you have a goal, you need to remind yourself all the time what is your bigger goal. So you have the bigger goal is, I don't know, whatever, to make the creative industry more inclusive. Then how will you do it? Okay, I will
That's
create a
planning,
tool,
yeah.
right? Okay, and now, what's the process of creating this tool? And then you have the micro organization when every day, me, for example, I'm a maniac, like I organize my day the day before, and this is how I don't lose time. But I would say that whatever you do on the micro organization thing, because everyone has its own tips, just remind yourself of the bigger goal. Yeah, like every
That's
week.
good.
Mm.
That's great.
That's a good goal.
All right, I didn't ask you guys to do any research before coming here today, so let's see what you have in your back pocket. I have been inundated the last several months or whatever, okay, for a long time really, with all of these new AI things, okay? And I can't even keep track of them anymore. So I started, this is a weird thing that I do, okay, so that I can keep everything organized. Because as I'm scrolling through Instagram, right, or whatever, all of these ads will pop up for like different AI things, or there's all these new like Instagram reels that are like, here are the top 50 AI, whatever the crap, right? And so I've just been copying the links and putting all of those in a notes document, and I'm gonna make my kid go through them because he's young and savvy, and I figured he could figure it out. I'm gonna make him put it all in a spreadsheet because I just feel overwhelmed by it, right? Like I'm like, oh my God. And I like open up Chat GPT or whatever the heck it's called the other day so I could start trying to figure this thing out, because I do feel, oh God, I feel like, like technology is starting to
Yes.
I remember laughing at my grandma when she didn't know how to put the DVD in, and she didn't know how to use a DVD and like push play, and then it like changed to like a DVR, and then it's just like streaming stuff, right? And I remember like feeling like, Grandma, why can't you get this? I'm sorry, Grandma, I love you so much. Don't get my grandma's probably the one person who like consistently watches my show.
Oh.
But now I'm feeling that way. I'm feeling overwhelmed by all this new technology,
Yes.
and like I'm getting kind of like stuck in my ways of not embracing that. But I also feel like if we don't embrace it, that
You get behind.
we're gonna get behind.
Right.
So have you guys used any of the AI tools? What ones are you using, or which ones are you about to go look into, or whatever? So tell me about AI tools.
I don't really know much
I
about
don't
it.
either.
Well, I can start then. Yeah, well, I'm in the film industry and in the tech industry, so obviously this is a big deal. So we have ChatGPT. I did actually use because as a journalist, sometimes they make you, use it to have like a first draft, which
Okay.
is, I don't know if it's good or not, but this is actually helping sometimes. And in the creative industry, it can actually gives you ideas about references. For example, you have a photo shoot, okay? You just enter like pictures and you have like a book where you can, it can get you inspired. I think we can see AI tools as a threat, or we can use them as more opportunities. And this is the way to go, I think. It's just another way for us to be even more productive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that when we're talking about that idea of hustling, I feel like I keep getting these like ads for AIs that are like to help you get from that phase of hustle to like to that thriving moment that we all want to be at, right? Where it's like, I would love for my life to finally get to a place where I don't have to hustle every freaking day, right? Like where it's not such a struggle, right? Like the struggle is real was a cute phrase, but like living it sucks, right? So like to wake up and to like be able to live in the moment and to like really enjoy the beautiful worlds that we're creating, right? Like it's nice to be able to sit back and enjoy it and not be like, oh God, gotta hustle today to sustain it. Like it's hard to sustain. So I want to get to a place where it's self-sustaining and where it's a little bit more relaxed. So challenge for you guys, and it sounds like we need to do this together. We need to start looking at what are these AI apps? How can they help us support our businesses and support our goals? And maybe we can get a little entrepreneur group together to do some focus groups or to like do some training on this, because I think that it's really going to elevate to the next level. Yeah.
It can be your next workshop, we can film that. And
Yes!
Like AI workshop.
Yes. In June when you come back, I'm not going to be here. Okay. So you guys out in the world, listen up. I have a challenge for you this week. This week, I need you to send me an email or comment down below in the Instagram feed or whatever. Send it to me either on email, on a DM, or in the comments. And I want to know, what AI tool do you think that we should check out, would you like to learn about, or that you're currently using that you think would super help us? And then what we're going to do is we will start looking at some of these AI tools here on the show. And maybe we'll even put together a cute little tutorial or something on them. So send us your favorite AIs. You can email me at neuagenda@katharsismedia.org, or you can post it in the comments on our Instagram or on our Facebook, or send it to me in a DM. So that's at @NeuAgenda. Follow us, like our page, all the things that I'm terrible at social media. Help me fix that. Anyways, we are, I think, about out of time for the day. So thank you guys so much for coming out and being on my show. Like you said, this is an opportunity really for me every single week where I get to sit with incredible people and glean all of the information. And because I'm obviously getting older, I can't remember what we talked about, so I record it for my own purposes and so I can share it with the world. So thank you guys so much for being on my show and sharing all of your incredible experiences, and everything that you shared today is just a wealth of knowledge. So I really appreciate you and everything that you guys are doing, and I'm so excited to see where it goes. That's about all the time we have for today. It's time for a new agenda.